so excited. This episode is not in our zone, so we are not in the studio. We are in, where are we at?
Del Oro's weightlifting room.
You guys should have seen our faces when we walked in. It is incredible in here, and we'll get some content, and you guys will see this. You guys are gonna be like as in awe as we.
Makes me want to work out.
I know. You want to?
I want to.
Maybe they'll let you do a couple squats, bench presses. But we are here with two coaches from Del Oro, head coach and defensive coach, right?
Yes.
If I got that right.
Yes.
Okay. Look, I'm learning. I'm learning positions. Okay.
Yes.
But we're excited. It might be a little bit of shorter form interview. So keep following us on all our social media. Subscribe to YouTube so that you guys can make sure you guys catch the next episodes. Because I don't know, we've been doing this thing, right, Rubio, where we do part 1 and part 2. So we need you guys to keep in interaction so you guys can get that part 2. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let our two guests introduce themselves, and then we'll get started.
Oh yeah.
All right. Coach Pete Hernandez, head coach of Del Oro High School Suns football. And I've been here since the beginning. I was also the varsity baseball coach as well. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Coach PJ, the head defensive coach for the Del Oro Iron Suns. I have also been here since the very beginning. This will be my 3rd year. The first year I was kind of on and off because I was still in between Fresno State and playing football and coaching, so I was only able to make a few games. But last year and this year will be my full 2 years. So yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for allowing us to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
I'm excited,
thank you for coming. This is a
just
treat.
your guys' energy, the hype, the boys in the background. Thank you guys so much because you guys opened your doors to us.
Yeah,
and we're excited to learn more. But Coach Pete, tell me a little bit about yourself because you also teach.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm also a special education case carrier teacher, push-in teacher. So basically I teach a transition class and then I push into other classes as well to kind of give assistance to kids that may need that help. We do have the block schedule, so it kind of makes it a prolongated process for the classrooms. So I go in and I help the kids and whatnot, and if they need to be pulled out and go into my room to receive further instruction, we do that as well.
Wow.
So.
So you are busy. You said you're baseball coach? Baseball coach? Still?
Yeah. Okay, so actually, believe it or not, I just coached my very last varsity baseball game last Thursday.
Oh.
It's been an amazing journey, a blessed journey, but for my very own sanity, I had to pick one. And of course, I'm going to go with my first love, which is football.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Coach?
Well, I am also a teacher.
Okay.
I teach in Arvin. I teach at the middle school over there. I'm a physical education teacher. I'm about to finish up my first year, still in my master's program and everything. It has been a little stressful, kind of,
You're driving back and forth too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Lots of gas.
Yeah.
Lots of gas. But, balancing football, balancing work, balancing just school as well, and just, driving back and forth and my family time and all that. It's been a little tough, but, I love it. I love being busy. I love staying busy, and I love being with these kids. So anything for them.
Yeah, a lot of the coaches, what we've talked to in the past, like their biggest thing is we have to choose sometimes, right? We have to make those sacrifices.
Of course.
We do the same thing, we have little ones and a bigger one, but we also have to make those sacrifices, right? We all kind of do, and sometimes a lot of the younger ones don't understand it, but it's like we're here because we love the game, but we love you guys too.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
And I see that when you guys are out there, you guys feed them and, you do all these things with them, and it's just such an environment, like a family environment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the Del Oro program, because you have a new season, right? Is this your 4th year? Going on 4th?
So this is actually, so their very first season they had here was a JV year.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of a JV year that was mixed, more of a hybrid year. So they did have some frost-off teams in there, but again, the teams that they picked were teams that were out of the area. So they had a lot of out-of-area games and playing in different divisions that they normally wouldn't play in just because they're trying to find a game. But that was the first year, and then 2 years ago we had our very first varsity year, which was incredibly tough because the kids that we had were incredibly young. And football was almost a new concept in a lot of different ways. And people don't realize that the jump from a JV frost-off to a varsity is completely night and day. And so any success you might have had on a JV level does not necessarily always transpire into a varsity level. And so when we got to that point, we realized, a lot of the kids realized, hey, this is really something that goes beyond tackling and beyond just being an athlete. And so learning those intricacies, it did take time. But these kids are now getting older. They've bought in. They love it here. It's a great school. And it's been showing. Last year, we made incredible strides in statistical. We just completely almost quadrupled our offensive output. Defensive, points allowed was reduced by almost 60%. And we were in every game that we were pretty much playing. As compared to years past, it was just kind of more of a survival mode. A lot of teachable moments, but at this point, we're finally getting to the point to where we are now competing and we are now capable of winning dang near every game that we play. So.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm sure that you got a big part in that too, though, because you got the defensive.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Defensive wise, it's we've always been very technically sound defensive wise. I think our problem has always been just kind of strength, but this last season it was awesome. I mean, turnovers upon turnovers upon turnovers.
Those are like so exciting,
yes,
right? Like
yes.
so exciting.
Lots of big,
just the rush.
Yeah, lots of big energetic moments, and it was just awesome seeing it. I don't know if we led the league in turnovers, but I know for sure we were very close. I mean, almost every single game we had a turnover, a pick, fumble recovery, punch the ball out, something. So, defensive-wise, we've been electric, and I'm very excited for this season to be even more electric.
But tell us a little bit about the environment, because, I saw a great group of kids. They're great. They're awesome. They're so energetic. They have so much motivation. What do you guys, because you guys are the main of that, right? You bring that. So what makes you guys like, this is how we want to have our program. This is what we want to bring. This is what we want to offer, especially to like all the new incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
You guys have the new little league,
Right.
the G, Golden Empire, the new one.
Yeah.
So what do you guys kind of like instill? What's the mission? What's the vision behind it?
Okay. So we do have our motto this year, and actually our motto from the beginning has always been iron sharpens iron. It's a text taken from the biblical. And basically what it transpires to is that, iron does sharpen iron. And that's one way that physically and scientifically the iron can get sharpened is by another piece of iron making it sharper. And so what we do is we correlate that to the fact that the young men work together. They need each other to progress and to get better. I cannot get better without you. You need me, I need you. And so that just kind of boils down to our efforts and the way we take things, the way we always enthusiastically attack whatever it is that we're doing. We know that whatever we do, we're going to get better because I need to, you need to, and we're going to do it together. So.
And I see nothing but positivity out there. I didn't see one negative thing that that the guys were saying to each other, and I was like, man, it was more pick me up, like, hey, we got this, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I seen that aspect, and I was really like that one.
No, we mic'd you up, so we hear all of it. We heard all of it.
Well, hopefully you guys caught it because I yell a lot. And so I know somebody came out and watched, and there an old friend of mine came out to the game and said, man, I can hear you from up there. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, and I was telling him, maybe I should watch what I'm saying. Because I'm just like, I didn't realize.
Sometimes
you
it's
can
just
hear me.
it's just what you bring to the energy. It's what you bring to the field. It's all.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And the thing is too, and it's kind of like with my teaching as well. If we get the kids involved, and if I want to be there, and I want the kids to want to be there, then I have to give them a reason to want to be there. And just showing up and kind of doing nothing doesn't really help any kids. So showing up, then they will take their cue from you. So if you're positive, you want to be there, you got a great energy, you're full of enthusiasm, then they're going to be the same thing. Whatever you give to them, they're going to regurgitate back. And it's just going to be at a high level. It's just going to be something that I myself, I always preach, positivity and doing the very best you can. And again, at times we're going to fail, and that's okay. Because if you learn something from that, then that's a part of the process. Yeah. And so I want these kids to understand it. Even myself as a grown man, I fail constantly at stuff. There's things that I just can't succeed at. And but it doesn't mean that we quit.
Yeah.
It just means that I've learned why is it that I couldn't succeed, and I fix that and I go from there. But again, attacking stuff with positivity I feel is the absolute keystone to success for here at the school.
Oh no, definitely, and then life in general.
Oh
right?
yeah,
of course.
We always have those conversations. I've had a week, so this was very exciting to do because I've had a week and I was like, I need to go do this again because this is what motivates me, right? So it's the same thing as kind of showing them like you still got to show up.
Yeah,
you might feel like you're a failure and it's gonna fail, and you are gonna fail at times, but we have to keep moving.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
that's definitely something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And on the defense side of the ball,
Same
thing.
Defensive side. I mean, it's the same thing. I went to Garces. I went to BC, and those two schools very defensively sound, and just the way we ran them was just like military style. Like it was like clockwork. I mean, we used to have morning workouts at Garces at like 4:45 in the morning, and everybody would be there. Every single kid, and that's something we want here. Is we want that type of buy-in, where we could be like, hey, we're gonna have practice at this time, and every single kid just boom right there. And slowly we're getting there. We're building that. Obviously, Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's going to take some time. But right now, we're getting a lot of buy-in from the kids. The way we're warming up, the way we're stretching, we're sounding off every time we warm up. Every time we get on and off the field, jogging, water breaks, we don't take forever and sit there and like, oh, yeah, put our fingers and stuff. We're getting in and out. Everything we do, we're doing it with intention. Defensive side of the ball, offensive side, and special teams. And like I said, Garces and BC are a big this attribute that really helped me kind of and coach, decide how we wanted to build this program.
That's good.
I was coaching over there when he was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. A whole nother story.
Yeah. But you guys are bringing those roots in because no matter what, even if the boys decide that they want to go and play at BC, they have those roots and those foundations already here. So that's really important because a lot of them are too afraid to go. And, I ask all the time because my thing is like, I want to help you get recruited.
Yeah.
You gotta be open to the possibilities. And even if you want to stay here, there's still a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
But like, let's build those foundations now so that when you get there, you're almost a little bit ahead of the game.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So
for
definitely. Tell us a little bit about how you got into it. For the first thing I always like to ask football is who's your team? Because it's just your NFL team. I mean, as you could tell, the shoes, you want to show them to the camera? I don't know if the camera can see them.
I got it. Don't worry about it. These were gifts. They were gifts.
So we're Eagles fans, but I like to ask that question just to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, what? So what's your team?
Well, the Raiders. Yes.
Okay, you have a beautiful stadium.
Yes, we have a beautiful stadium. And
beautiful.
beautiful. I think we're going to be good. We drafted pretty good. The Raiders, I don't know. Every year, since I've been alive, I've been a Raiders fan. And every single year, it's been a rebuilding year. So I'm hoping that this year, we're actually going to do
your
something.
stadium makes up for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been to a game there, so I'm like, it makes up.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach?
Okay, so I am a huge lifelong Raider fan. But see, I'm going to tell you why though. So I don't know if you know this about the Raiders organization, but they were the organization of first in the entire NFL. And I'm a huge advocate for equality and for justice and for people getting a fair shot. And so Al Davis was a pioneer of many things. So the first black head coach, the first Hispanic head coach, the first woman CEO. He invented the mini camp. He was a driver behind free agency, fought for the rights of many team owners to be able to move their teams. Just so many things. I mean, just so much adversity has gone through that organization that it's just kind of hard, me being a Hispanic male, to not love a team like that that's kind of gone through it all and ended up on top.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've applied to the Raiders because I'm like, take me to Vegas. I am ready. So Raiders, if you're looking for like, social media marketing, I don't know, interview, I'm here. Like, even if you just give me a shot, just let me talk to a couple of players. We'll be fine.
There you go.
So they're moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. Was it okay with you?
I'll be honest with you, man. So the Oakland Coliseum was kind of, it was older, to say the least, and but it had history in it, in its ground, in the roots there. There was great historic Hall of Fame athletes there, just people who have paved the way for many others to make it through the league that have gone through there. And so when you got there, it was kind of older, and it was, you were playing on a baseball field. But, just being there as a Raider fan, when I would go, I'd be in line, and I'm talking to a guy from, like, England. And he's like a huge Raider fan. And we're sitting there like we grew up together. And I didn't even know who he was, just talking. If you're a Raider fan, then you're safe.
Yeah, Eagles fans do the same thing. We do the same thing.
I don't know about that one. I'm not even too fond of Eagle fans. Sometimes they get a little too crazy on me. I'm like, hold on.
Nothing wrong with passion, brother. We just got to know where it ends.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's amazing because I just like to pick at that because we're a big football family, I like to know. But now look, we can all go. We can get a suite together, and I'll be there just for the atmosphere.
Football brings people together.
Yeah, definitely.
They used to say that baseball is America's pastime, but football is America's passion.
Yeah. Definitely. So before I let you guys go, I do want to ask, and I didn't get to ask it at the beginning, but what made you guys love the game?
You go first.
Want me to go first? Okay, I'll go first. Man, it's a lot. I've been doing football since I think I was in like second grade. And I mean, football is to me, football is just one of the greatest sports on God's green earth. There's so much that it teaches you. There's just so many great things about it. And it's helped mold me into the man that I am today, you know, and a lot of the values that I have and, you know, the faith that I have in God, and just, it's really helped me with all that. You know, I mean, I went against some of the best teams like my junior and senior year at Garces. I mean, I went against St. John Bosco. At the time, they were ranked #1 in the nation. So it's like, I was going against that team. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, dude, these guys are big. Like, you know, like, I'm scared. Like, you know, they got like a 6'5" quarterback. This dude's like 250. And I was like, dude, like, you know, I was only like 5'10", like 185 pounds, you know. But football taught me, you know, there's going to be a lot of moments in life where you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's about how you attack it and how you keep getting up from those moments in life that truly make you you. You know, I just love football. You know, it's just you could just do anything with it. You know, like if you're having a bad day, you're like, you know, go to practice, you know, maybe hit some dudes or like, you know, things like that. And it was also just the intricacy of football, just like the mental part of it as well. You know, a lot of people think football players are kind of like you know, silly people and stuff, but in reality, you know, football players are some of the smartest people I've ever met. You know, just the way they study, the way they watch film, just so many different aspects of football that just make a football player. You know, and people don't realize that. And I think that's why I fell in love with it, was how people, you know, just based on how you look, you know, like, hey, I'm a football player. They're like, oh, this guy's a jock. Like, you know, this guy likes
All
to
the
go
movies do that.
Yeah. You know, and they're like,
You
oh,
know?
this guy likes to go to parties and stuff like that. But, you know, in reality, football players are some of the most dedicated people I've ever met in my life. You know, and football, it's a brotherhood. You know, a lot of the guys I played Pee Wee ball with, high school ball, college ball with, you know, they're some of my best friends now. You know, obviously we live like miles away and stuff like that because some of them were across state, but, you know, it's a brotherhood, you know, and they know that if they ever need anything, you know, they can call me, and if I ever need anything, I can call them, you know, and that's what's really brought me, you know, to come here to coach these kids, is I want them to have something like that, you know, later down the line, whenever they get around my age or even older, you know, like, hey, you know, high school football at Del Oro was the best. You know, we had, you know, Coach Hernandez, Coach PJ, and, you know, we have, you know, my brothers and, you know, just all of that. I want them to experience what I felt when I was younger, you know, because, I mean, if I can go back and do it all over again, man, I'd go back.
I get that.
I would go back.
In a heartbeat, man. In a heartbeat.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
No. What about you, Coach?
You know, I have a huge passion for working with kids. I think the best way to change a community and the best way to help out around the community is to get involved with it. And the best way I could figure to do so would be to teach and to coach, which are directly correlated with each other. A lot of the kids see me here, I'm Mr. Hernandez, but then I turn into Coach Hernandez. And I'm just grateful and blessed that I'm allowed to work with these kids hour after hour, day after day, and really do what I can to mold them into being the best type of human being possible. Our goal here at Del Oro is to grow the whole student. And so that not only is academically, but emotionally. We want the kids to be able to be strong and to be able to get through adversity, because life is filled with it. But we also want kids to know that they are capable of greatness. And I think football primarily gives me the opportunity to show these kids just how great they can be. You see something, you want to get bigger, well, here's a weight room. You want to get faster, there's a track. You know, you want to learn more, well, we've got great coaches here that can teach you that. We've got second level coaches here that can teach you that. We've got people here that can help you succeed, but you have to want that. And so I believe that it is football's a metaphor for life. So the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And so I want these kids to understand that football will never let them down, just because of the fact that whatever they put in, they will get out. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll say the kids are very lucky to have you guys. So
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
he was
you.
standing
Thank
on
you.
the field watching. He's like, Coach P. Yeah, he's I
Coach
was
P's
like,
loud.
hey.
no, I'm saying he's on it, man.
Yeah, he was just watching, and I was like,
That's good though,
hey,
because
man.
a lot of kids don't really get to have that experience like you guys mentioned.
Yeah.
They don't have the experience like, oh, well, I wish I could go back to football because they had bad coaches or bad experiences and everything. So it's great that what you guys are doing and everything, and creating those memories for them too.
Yeah.
Well, with them too. So
Yeah, and what we teach, the lessons we teach here, I just hope and pray that they take it with them throughout life. When they go to college, when they become young men. I actually have several godchildren through football. Been to weddings. Unfortunately, I've been to some funerals as well. It's just allowed me to really get involved in the community. And I mean, I see kids all the time. I say kids, I'm sorry, but they're probably in their mid-20s, almost
grown
30.
adults now.
And they're
grown
just
adults.
like, yo, coach. And I'm like, and it's so bad because I'm like, hey. And I'm
You
looking
forget,
like,
right?
who is that? Actually, really quick, I'm sorry, but I did have a young man that I coached at BHS. And he came up and he paid for my meal. And I thought, hey, man, that's cool. I appreciate you, man. So I go and sit down and he comes over, he's cleaning the tables as they do. And he comes up to him and he interrupts me and my wife and he says, hey, I'm sorry. He says, Coach, I just have to say, it's just so crazy that I'm seeing you because just 2 nights ago, I was thinking about what you told me at BHS when my mom died. And he was like, I'm having a hard time and what you told me got me through that time. And so he bought me, he goes, so I actually bought you another shake. And I'm like, oh cool, man. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, man, that's what I do this for. Nothing can ever beat that. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love to get a championship here.
Yeah.
But that right there, that's more than enough.
It feels like a tremendous blessing at the same time because you
ginormous.
Don't know,
I don't even know how to take that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could have knocked me over with a feather when he told me that.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife across from me, she's crying. She's like literally
Yeah,
crying.
I'm literally almost crying
She's
right now.
all in her
oh my
food.
God, I'm so sad.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
hand me the
geez.
glasses. No, yeah. I mean, you guys make such an impact, and that's kind of what I love football. I'm not biased to any other sport, guys. I love every other sport, but football is our love, right? Like that's who we are. And like when I see you guys, I'm like, I might not know how to do any of those drills or not, but it's what you guys build, and it's every program. You know, every program does that here. But it's also super nice to see the faces behind the program because you guys are building something, and sometimes a lot of the players, they mouth and talk about programs and blah blah blah, but we never see the faces, and it's like we want to see you guys. We want to see what you guys are about because we want other people to cheer for you guys too.
No, of course.
As coaches, as individuals, that's important. Like for us, I'm like, dang, thank you. Like thank you for letting us come out. Like a lot of people sometimes don't take they're a little standoffish. They want to take the opportunity, and I'm like, for us, it's just really fun. Like we do this exactly like you said for the community. We want to build something, and we want the athletes to know that we're here for them. So just same way. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys coming.
We're gonna do a longer version. I promise. This is a little short. But thank you guys so much for allowing us to be here in your home. We can't wait to see some of your games.
Yes, absolutely.
And see what you guys have to offer in the new season.
Yes.
Well, but we'll be back in the summer because I want to get recording of in the weight room and everything else so we can show off. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, we are open to any school or any athlete who wants to come on the podcast and be a part of this. It's completely free. I know we have a lot of kids that come and ask, and we're like, it's free, guys. It's free. We just want you guys to come out. That's exactly what we do it for. We want you guys to get some exposure. But stay tuned. We do have some news of what we're going to be doing in June to help some of the athletes here in Kern County. So without that, don't forget to
like and subscribe.
Please subscribe, guys. Come on, let's get to 500 on YouTube.